Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-October 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Gemini collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the lovely Geminis in mid-October? Please, the deck is already trying to jump out of my hands, my good friends. What energies, messages, insights can we take a peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Gemini mid-October. What's the vibe here? Please, let's get this card out nice and quick. There we go. Ask and you shall receive. Okay, I saw this in the Aries reading too. We have the Queen of Swords, and she does have a bit of a different complexion for you since it is one of your power cards. Remember, it's not gender specific. And yeah, I'm not using a tarot deck yet. This is an oracle, but she has all the traits I think of with the Queen of Swords, right? Like she's honest, straightforward. I do like her, but there's a bit of a downside with her too sometimes, right? She could be a little harsh. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the October subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about her. So as you can see here with the picture, we have this strong, elder, divine, feminine figure. She has that big, grandiose crown. And if you look at her face, she doesn't look like she's messing around, right? She's straightforward and to the point. And that's one of the things I appreciate about the Queen of Swords. Now, we'll get into all that. For a Gemini reading, since you're an air sign, she's one of your power cards. Anything dealing with the self could be extra important. So whether it's self-confidence, how you feel about yourself, how you look at yourself, self-respect, these could all be big things on the table for you right now. Doing what's right for yourself, that could be a big thing with her as well. But I always say with the Queen of Swords, she's logical, she's smart, very strategic, she's intelligent, super intelligent, and she's blunt, right? She tells the truth. She calls it like she sees it. So for a lot of Geminis in this time, your communication style might have a little edge to it, right? You might be calling things out more so than you normally do. Now, the rough thing with her, as I'm sure you could guess, is she can sometimes be a little detached. Sometimes she could be a little cold. She could even be mean sometimes. So again, I'm not sure what you're dealing with. Hopefully you don't hurt someone's feelings when she shows up, but I like it for the self focus. That's a good thing. So we're going to let her chill out over there. We don't want to get her upset. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the beautiful Geminis. What do we have in mid-October? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled A Serious Warning. Now, I will say this, for like the past 3 or 4 weeks, there's been a string of some funkiness in the energy. And the big thing that was coming through last week was pretty much Spirit telling you to proceed with caution with something. So whether it was a person, whether it was a situation, whether it's life in general, the big message that was coming through is like, just be careful with this one, Gemini. Be cautious. Keep your eye on something. So we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for my Geminis. What do we have in mid-October? Let's get it going. What do we got for the Gemini collective? Thank you. Okay, Hermit. Okay. Wasn't expecting Mr. Hermit to show up. I usually like an action card in the first position. I guess he's taking action, but it's not forward. It's like pulling back. Let's get a couple more. It's an energy that's definitely private, pulling back. Okay, Ace of Cups. Now the energy goes forward. So it's like we're doing the do-si-do. We're doing a little dance here, Gemini. It's like we take a step back, we take a step forward. Doing a little dance here. Let's get one more. What do we have here for my Geminis? Please. Thank you. Cool. Lots of aces. There's some really good energy coming in, and this is a nice, refreshing change from what I've been seeing the past few weeks. I love when we get more than one ace, because this is like a double down, and it could be in multiple areas of life. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, I always like to look at the elements first. You have a lot of earth this week. Now, for some signs, that's a great thing. For some signs, it may be a little frustrating. I mean, we got the Hermit, we got the Ace of Pentacles. Earth energy kind of represents the material world around us, the world we exist in. So we think of work, we think of business, we think of family, living situations, all that kind of stuff. And the good thing about it, it's very stable. The rough side of so much earth energy is that it could be a little frustrating. It could be an energy that feels a little stuck or something's not shifting the way you'd like it to. We do have water here. So, again, the combination's great. I always say when you mix earth and water, it's always a good sign, represents potential, especially with double aces. But water is the internal realm. So think of emotions, feelings, creativity, romance, partnerships, all that stuff could be at play. So the energy mixture is good. I guess it just really depends on what it is that you're going through here, especially with all this earth, because you are an air sign. But let's go through this piece by piece and really start to build it out. Position number one, we start with the Hermit. So big Virgo energy. So whether you have Virgo placements yourself, maybe you're connected to one, I already gave a little hint about what this hermit does. It is super private, right? It's retracting its energy, it's pulling back. So it's not making big moves forward. If anything, it's taking a step back from something. So there might be certain things, situations, thought processes where you're like, I need a little bit of time here, or I'm going to take a small step back from it. It's very quiet. Now, this card isn't all rough. Yeah, there's a sense of secrecy to it. Yeah, there's a sense of hidden, surprising energy, right? Because he is in a cloak, the card's at nighttime. So, yeah, maybe there's some things that aren't on your radar that we'll take a close look at. The Hermit, in his positive sense, is wise. The Hermit is going inward, where it's like you have the answers within you. You could just go within and seek them out yourself. So, this could be someone doing a lot of soul searching. Again, it's very intelligent, huge tie to spirituality. So, there could be things about your spiritual practice that are starting to show up here. But the rough side of the Hermit, he's not really talking, right? Not much is really changing. Doesn't seem to be doing much, not much action. So it could be a bit of a stale energy. Watch out for miscommunications when he shows up, especially with the other cards we have in the mix. But again, the Hermit doesn't have to be a rough thing. Maybe some of you are just in Hermit mode, right? That could easily be it. Like maybe you're just minding your own business, doing your own thing, staying in your own lane, and that's it. But moving to the center, we start moving into the aces, which is really nice. We have the Ace of Cups in position number two, probably my favorite ace. We have my two favorite aces, actually. Now, the Ace of Cups, I already mentioned, this does deal with more of the emotional side. When we deal with any ace, they represent new, they represent fresh, they represent opportunities, offers, but a big key to them is communication, speaking, talking, sending messages. So I can't wait to clarify it, to maybe get a tone of like, all right, what are you expressing? What are you saying? Again, it doesn't have to be you. Maybe it's someone else where they're like, hey, Gemini, I need to get something off my chest. That could easily be it. Now, the downside to the Ace of Cups is it could just represent someone's emotional state, especially like in the reverse form. Sometimes you could be extra emotional. There could be certain things that are going on that are playing off your emotions more than they normally do. Maybe something's hitting you a little deeper than it usually does when this card is here. And it could also be emotional ups and downs. So we do want to look at it. But as always, I don't read a negative into a positive. We need to clarify it. Now, moving to the very back end, we have some similarities. We have the Ace of Pentacles, whereas this card was about the internal, the emotional. The Ace of Pentacles is, again, the external world, right? This is great for, blessings from the universe. Like the universe giving you an alley-oop, say, hey, Gemini, all you have to do is, make that slam dunk or take the ball and run. I really like this card. It's something that you might not necessarily have to work for when this card comes in. Yes, it could be a talk, so we'll still keep those offers, opportunities. All of those things could be in play. But to me, this is more of a gift, a reward, a blessing from the universe. So this could be really, really great. It does have the downsides, like similar to the Ace of Cups, so we're not going to go too far in depth on that. But I like the double aces. One thing that is a downside for both is that aces are not permanent. So sure, they may be an opportunity, but they can wither. It's something where it's like if you don't take action, if you don't take it, the universe is handing it to you. If you don't take it, it's going to go away. So I want to dive deeper on all of this, Gemini. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you. And yes, I always like to pull one. This is where I go in and go intuitive, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation. and I'm just giving you mine. What's going on, Mr. Hermit? What is Hermit doing here? Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you have any messages for Gemini, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's see what the Hermit has. Why is the Hermit here for Gemini, please? Okay, justice. Okay, this is someone probably giving something a little bit of time. That's initially how this feels to me. Lady Justice, Libra energy, balance. It is also extremely karmic. So we might see if there's any karmic archetypes that show up throughout the rest of this reading because it's very possible. Now, sometimes karma could be people getting what they deserve. Sometimes it could be a time of change. Sometimes it could be situations or events that we're meant to go through. Um, and you can't really dodge it, right? Like when something's meant to happen, it's meant to happen. So for some of you, yeah, maybe you're dealing with a karmic situation of some kind. We'll see. We'll look into it further. But aside from that, like when I see the Hermit with Lady Justice, it's like I'm just going to give this a little bit of time. So there might be a situation or something you're dealing with, or even a person where it's like, you know what, I'll circle back on this, or I'll solve it. Maybe not right now. It feels like somebody kicking the can down the road or delaying something, which I don't think is a bad thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be bad, but this energy is not in a rush to address something. That's how it feels to me. Where it's like, yeah, we'll get there. We'll figure it out. We don't got to do it right now. We don't got to do it right this second. This could also be somebody taking a little bit of time to just get themselves right. That's another thing. So, three messages. I feel like there's more there. For those of you dealing with anything legal or contractual, be very cautious with what you put your signature on as well. So again, we'll talk about that more during the recap. As I already mentioned, could be someone taking some time, could be somebody delaying or kicking something down the road, or it could be somebody trying to dodge karma or a karmic situation. Let's keep moving. I feel like there's so much there. So much. Let's go in on the Ace of Cups. Let's see what that has, because this is where it might get more interesting. So why is the Ace of Cups here? Three of Cups in reverse. Okay. All right. So I do get this private energy that's showing up here, where I don't necessarily feel like it's a secret, but the energy to me is like, oh, let's just keep it quiet. Like, why do we don't gotta tell anyone about this? Let's just keep this a little hush. Three of Cups to me is usually happy, celebrating. So there is something here about somebody not being super happy about something. That could be the case, but I also feel like somebody purposely keeping something on the hush, whatever it might be. Because the Three of Cups could represent people, social circles, the people around us. For some of you, maybe there's someone you're connected to that's going through a difficult time. That could be it. Like someone, they're going through some trials, they're going through some tribulations, especially if there is this karmic energy or karma getting served up to someone. Um, Not sure if you're meant to help the person or just be an effect of everything. But there, yeah, the karmic ripple. That's kind of what I'm feeling here from the front. So whether someone's dealing with the fallout of something, I don't. It's just very peculiar. But there is this like hush hush, secretive type of energy I'm picking up here on the front end. So again, whether it's you keeping something quiet, whether it's somebody else, it's like, shh, let's not right now. Let's keep going over to the Ace of Pentacles. That's very peculiar, very peculiar. But let's see what's happening with the Ace of Pentacles. Then we'll do our recap. So why is it here for Gemini, please? Thank you. Okay. I mean, it's the karmic energies all over the place. So we have death in reverse underneath this Ace of Pentacles, and this is most definitely circling back on something where it's like, oh, I'm not going to let you forget this one. No, we're going to talk about this. We're going to touch on this situation. Um, Death in reverse with Ace of Pentacles could obviously be something returning. Okay, but I have to point out we got two of the biggest karmic cards in the whole entire deck showing up here. So again, I mean, there's certain individuals that might catch a dose of karma, and it's like you could try to avoid it, but like once you put something out there, once you put a vibration out there, at some point it's going to come back around. That's how it feels. So I am getting this like karma getting served up to somebody potentially. But aside from that, with the Ace of Pentacles and Death in reverse, it's like no, we're not avoiding this. We are talking about this. It feels like someone very insistent on addressing something. So whereas this one is secretive and kicking the can down the road, this one here on the back is like, yeah, no, we're talking about this. So to me, this feels like it could be an important talk or a serious one where it's like, we got to address it. We got to talk about it. So we've got a lot of stuff here, Gemini. Like we got karmic stuff, we got social stuff, we got new stuff, we got old stuff coming back around. It's like I bet a lot of you are going through some interesting times, that's for sure. But let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. I feel like there's so much more here. But if you kindly look in the box, position number one, we start with the Hermit and Lady Justice. Now, again, this could be someone being quiet, taking a little time to just get back to baseline. That could be it. This is our first little touch of secrecy where someone's like, yeah, just let's give it a minute. Let's not. We'll get there. We'll address it at some point. It's like kicking the can down the road. And this is also that karmic energy really starting to show where someone might be trying to avoid it or sidestep it. Moving to the center, we have the Ace of Cups with the Three of Cups in reverse. Again, very secretive, where it's like, why shouldn't we talk about this? Or why would we keep this secret? It just doesn't make sense to me. If it's not that, it could just be someone you're connected to that's going through a difficult time, which makes sense if we are seeing all this karmic energy, where it's like, you just there's only one way to go, and that's to go through it. Moving to the back end, we have the Ace of Pentacles with Death in reverse, where it's like, no, we shouldn't delay this. No, we need to address this. And I'm going to keep bringing it up until we do. It's an energy where either it's a serious or an important talk, main vibe here, and tons of karma getting dished out, even if someone's trying to sidestep it. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my Geminis. What's happening? And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card here at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be good too. Oh, and yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out here for Gemini. What's happening? What is in the shadows, please? No? There we go. Okay. Knight of Cups, water sign energy, very smooth. When I see the Knight of Cups, I think of a smooth talker, someone that's really good with their words, Prince Charming archetype. Again, if you're not connected to a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, the Knight of Cups seems to move at the right pace. To me, this just feels like a very convincing type of energy. So for a lot of Geminis in this time, in the good sense, this card could be amazing. This card could be perfect. This card could be everything. But on the downside, I feel like this could be an extremely convincing card, if that makes sense. So watch out in this time for somebody like trying to smooth talk you or trying to convince you to do something you don't want to do. Like this energy just feels super convincing to me. And that's what's showing up here in the shadows. Does it mean someone's manipulating or they have like bad intentions? No, I'm not saying that. But to me, it's like, oh, well, if this energy wasn't in your ear, if this energy wasn't trying to uh, control how you react to something, you would have a much different reaction. That's how it feels. Like the energy is just super convincing. Now might not be a good time to like go see a salesman, right? Because the energy is good. So I'll leave it at that. That's smooth talking energy, Gemini. You could look into that further. But that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the October subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation and book a personal reading with me, you could check out my digital calendar on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The October schedule is up there and it's filling up quick. So if you want to have a little chat, go over there and check it out. But for the October subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of the most stunning decks I've ever experienced, the Star Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments. Since last month, I asked everybody which zodiac sign they get along best with. This month, out of all the zodiac signs, which one do you clash with a little bit there? Drop it down in the comments. You'll be entered to win. And the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.